Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday Mike Talk. Glad that you're with me. Shalom, as they used to say in the olden days, which is just the Hebrew way of saying peace. Peace that comes only from knowing God. And thank you again for joining me for a time in the Word, some coffee. Maybe you're watching this later at night. I'm glad that you're with me. I really believe God has called us here to do this together. I'd rather be in a living room with you, drinking coffee, laughing, praying. Why do I do this? Because I love the Bible, and I love it when people are hungry for the Bible. And this is our little 5 or 6 minute deal every day. If you're new, welcome to Mike Talks. If you've been here from the very beginning, many of you have, the Bible never gets old. Today I'm going to share a scripture with you. By the way, one of the crazy things that happens to me when I travel to the West Coast is that my sleeping time's off. So when I'm at home, 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the latest, I'm asleep at night, and I'm up at 5 o'clock. What that translates to out here is wanting to go to bed at 7:30 and wake up at around 3 or 3:30. So a lot of early mornings out on the West Coast, which means I'm working on a sermon, I'm doing a planning retreat, trying to bring together all the vision stuff that our staff and the Lord's laid on our heart for the last year, heading into this fall. Stoked what God's getting ready to do at Eastview Christian Church. If you're a part of that church, I'm glad that you are. Hold on, God's at work. And then trying to learn from some other pastors out here, at the same time being a new grandpa and hang out with my kids. So it's a heavy week. What's great is, it's a heavy schedule week. What's great is, if you're up by 3:30 or 4 every morning, you get a lot done before 9 o'clock in the morning. So here we are. Already worked out. I'm ready to go. Working on my sermon for Sunday. Hope you'll be there at eastview.church. But I'm brought to, the Spirit kind of brought this verse to me today because I'm a little tired because of my sleeping schedule being weird. And I know that when I get home on Saturday, it's going to be all messed up. So what do you do when you're weary? Well, you take this verse from Isaiah 40, this great prophet, and the word that he gives in Isaiah chapter 40, the end of the chapter, verse 28, Isaiah 40, 28. You'll recognize the famous verse at the end of the chapter, but you need this whole context. Have you not heard, have you not known, have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. Listen to this. He does not grow faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint. To him who has no might, he increases strength. Even youths faint and are weary, and young men shall fall exhausted. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. One of the misunderstandings of our time, for Christians and non-Christians of our culture, is that if you just try harder, you work harder, that you can do anything. You just put your mind to it. I see this in sports world. We practiced harder. When you were sleeping, we were practicing. I get to the gym at 5. I get to the gym at 4:30. I've studied harder. I know more. I've worked more. And this idea, and it's kind of an American mindset that says, if I want to accomplish something, I'll just work harder. But what we don't consider is, what happens when you come to the end of your strength? Because it's very human to find yourself tired and weary. What do you do when you're weary of broken relationships? When you're wearied from your job situation or your lot in life? When you're wearied emotionally from the things that are going on around you? What happens when you're tired of praying? You're tired of reading the scripture. You're tired of going to work. You're tired of feeding the children and getting them dressed. You're tired of going to school. What happens when you're weary? You just don't have any more strength. And somebody says, well, try harder, do better, give more effort. You go, I have nothing. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 30 says this, even if you're young, even youths faint and are weary. Even young men fall exhausted. There's a human limitation. What do you do when you're tired and you can't do it on your own and you can't find strength and you're just exhausted? You turn to a God, verse 28, who does not grow weary and does not faint. And you rest in him. This is maybe counterintuitive. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you to think this way. But the best thing you can do when you can't do anything is to do nothing in the presence of the Lord. Let me say that again. The best thing you can do when you can't do anything because you don't have any strength is to do nothing in the presence of the Lord. It's this simple. Here's the prayer for Thursday. Lord, here are the things that I can't do. I'm too tired. I'm exhausted. I'm faint. I'm weary. I cannot do them, Lord. But you're not tired. You're not exhausted. You're not weary. Because you're the everlasting God of the universe. God, today, here's my Thursday prayer. Would you renew my strength? Not because of what I can do, but because of what you can do. Because you're a God that doesn't get tired, even if I am tired. It also helps to drink some coffee. But I hope that's your prayer today. Turn to God who doesn't grow weary and see if he doesn't renew your strength. Peace.